Hello, honeys, and welcome to our brand new episode format, the 5-Minute Musical. In this monthly special, I will be breaking down music videos, the arts therein, and hopefully be doing it within 5 minutes. The first one's gonna be free, honeys, but I do need to start monetizing this podcast, so after that, your 5-minute musical will cost $1 per episode, so $1 per month. Seems like a pretty great deal to me, but we'll let you decide. In any case, here's your very first one. In this 5-minute musical, we will be looking at Hold Up by Beyonce from 2016. The music video for Hold Up begins with Beyonce submerged in a house filled to the brim with water. It's very cutscene style cinematography of her floating in various positions, upside down, limbs this way and that, while reciting the poem Denial by Warsan Shire. Shire was born in Kenya to Somali parents, but eventually was raised in London. She was named the first poet laureate of London in 2014. That accomplishment was bookended by the success of her first chapter book in 2011 titled Teaching My Mother How to Give Birth with poetry enthusiasts worldwide, and her second release in 2015 titled Her Blue Body. The poem Denial itself connects to the themes of cheating, acceptance, and healing throughout the music video by describing everything a woman has done to make herself perfect for her partner, as well as her conclusion that these efforts were never enough and continued suspicions of him being unfaithful. In one of our source articles for the day, Bustle author Daniela Cabrera notes the parallels between the passage about the poem's narrator, quote, slowly not speaking another word, end quote, apparently mirroring Beyonce's real-life silence when it came to interviews. Quote, when Beyonce covered the May 2016 issue of Elle, it marked her first major interview in a couple of years. The New York Times noticed this rare occurrence, saying that in 5 years of cover stars, Bey was the, quote, only celebrity cover star not to submit to some type of interview, end all quotes. Although she may have been working on her music in private, 2014 is also the year when the rumors of her and Jay-Z's marital troubles peaked, with the video of Solange hitting him in the elevator widely circulating. Now, as her song actually begins, the music kicks in, Beyonce throws open the house doors to let the water rush out past her and descend in slow motion down to the street level. The first thing she infamously does is grab a baseball bat from a nearby boy and begin strutting down the street, smashing car windows, security cameras, and fire hydrants with a large smile and joyful twirls. And this is where this important sense of double voyeurism, of watching and being watched throughout the video, begins. Beyonce smiles continuously or even stares the camera down as though daring us, the viewer, to challenge her violent actions or the lyrics of the song. It's also notable that the onlookers within the music video largely cheer her on. Yet it's also not surprising that Beyonce was accused by some in the contemporary art world of copying Pitbull Wrist's 1997 artwork/installation titled Ever Is Over All because of their many similarities. Both walk down what look like New York City streets, smashing car windows in slow motion, wearing flowy dresses with cap sleeves, having carefree attitudes with heels moving fluidly, but Wrist uses a giant flower to smash these windows, not a baseball bat, and includes slightly abstracted and slowed videos of flower and field grasses in the right-ish half of the screen. She also changes the camera angles less frequently and uses softer transitions, and puts pastel blue overtones over much of the work in comparison to the bright daylight of Beyonce's streetscape. There are differences between the amount of men and women present and when between the music video and the artwork, as well as the fact that Beyonce interacts with, acknowledges, sings to the camera. It's important that they have these parallels because they contrast the societal expectations of women with the pain of infidelity in important and novel ways centered on performances of femininity. Professor of art history at Tel Aviv University, Dr. Nava Sevilla-Seda, suggests that Wrist's performance, and thus also Beyonce's, is heavily based on the idea of the Maenads, a group of women depicted in Greek mythology who acted in ways that were not stereotypically feminine. They would dance violently, sing, and more to experience euphoria, this sense of complete relaxation, in the same way that contemporary artists Wrist and Beyonce look extremely calm while performing these stereotypically masculine, violent actions in their flowy dresses, long hair, and heels. Representations of Maenads holding big flowers just like Wrist did have been found on different vase fragments as well. While Wrist's video came from a place of seeking catharsis over an editor who had censored her, we still don't know precisely where Beyonce's came from, though there's lots of suspicions. Of course, we have to acknowledge that some critics took issue with this music video portraying women, especially women of color, as destructive and vindictive through this violence. Others saw it as a brilliant upending of feminine ideals and gender congratulations. The coolest part, of course, is that Beyonce kind of saw all this coming, so we have the acknowledgement and criticism of these critiques within the song. I point to the lyrics, what's worse, looking jealous or crazy, or like being walked all over lately, I'd rather be crazy. One of our source authors for today pointed out just how much this album is about moving through pain and writes that, quote, her smashing the cars isn't her trying to smash the patriarchy, it's an artistic take on the reaction to betrayal, end quote. The music video's ending solidifies this sort of double voyeurism, the acknowledgement of us watching her and her watching us back, and then even draws a boundary. Beyonce stares into the camera, into our eyes after breaking all these car windows, damaging city property without any regret or fear of us being there, then destroys the camera and thus us/our eyes. That very last bit has commonly been read as her embodying and reclaiming her experience as a celebrity whose every move is recorded for the world to scrutinize. As our sources put it, quote, reclaiming her agency to the privacy of being able to experience anger and betrayal for what they are, violent, end quote. The music video, of course, has its own legacy. It received widespread acclaim and a Grammy nomination for Best Pop Solo Performance. It also won an MTV Music Video Award for Best Art Direction. Even Bell Hooks weighed in, though she took the side of the critics, focusing on her perception of female-induced violence when discussing her distaste with Beyonce's performance. And I would be remiss to not acknowledge that Grammy performance. Remember how she literalized that music video ending by hitting and breaking the MTV camera when she wasn't supposed to? This, I think, is her doubling down on the middle finger to the media and also the rest of us who are always watching and judging her for rage or any other action or emotion. Alright, we ended up being slightly over 5 minutes. What a huge shocker, I'm sure. But this just gives me a better idea of how to prepare next month's episode. I hope you enjoyed our 5-minute musical. I hope you will tune in for the next one. We will talk soon, and take care of yourselves, honeys. This podcast is produced, created, hosted, formerly edited, and fact-checked by master's degree holder Celia Bugno. Chris Meinhold is responsible for our editing, mixing, and our intro and outro music. Special thanks to him for that. And as always, remember to like, subscribe, share, comment, so on all your favorite listening as well as social media channels.